IBM I2 fraud intelligence analysis is a key part of IBM's overall fraud, waste and abuse capability. This video takes a brief look at an integrated story for detecting, investigating and managing an insurance fraud ring. This diagram illustrates the workflow for our fraud investigation demonstration. Claims are initially assessed and scored against several criteria. The scored claims are then triaged by the investigations team. The investigation is completed using information from a variety of data sources. Tasking, workflow, KPIs and reporting underpins the investigation. This approach is helping insurers to save many millions of dollars. Pete, a business analyst, reviews how the right action is assigned to each claim. A claim has a number of possible outcomes. Based on the assessment, it can be referred for investigation, handled as business as usual, or selected for fast-track settlement. There are two methods to determine the appropriate next action. Firstly, risk indicators based on IBM blueprints and domain expertise are used. Secondly, mathematical models are used to predict fraud. The two metrics are combined to form an action plan. The final recommendation is based on these two approaches. John, the team supervisor, logs into his customized homepage to view department activity and KPIs. Selecting My Cases shows his current caseload, including a potentially fraudulent claim that requires review. John reviews the critical details of the case, such as the claimant data and the claimant's investigative history. He can see that there is claim history, including a recent investigation. The details of each case are persisted in the repository, so he can click to review the details. He also reviews a risk scorecard, which uses rules and analytics to help proactively identify fraud. John can see that this claim is a high risk. John decides to investigate the case and reviews team activity to decide who to assign it to. Carly is selected. Ownership of the case is transferred and notifications sent to her. Mike, an analyst in the fraud team, is also notified. Mike is notified of his new analytical task by the case management system. He opens the claim and can visualize the claim details and related information. The suspicious claims history is readily confirmed. Now let's dig deeper. Mike can easily expand and enrich the data in the investigation. There is a common second vehicle in two claims, vehicle 858 WVR. Further exploration reveals address details for the people involved with the claims. These can be easily sent to a map. The map shows that the two addresses are very close together. This may indicate that the claimants know each other and may be in collusion. Mike highlights the suspected individuals at these addresses on the analysis chart. Similar records within the chart can be easily found and merged, including deliberate variations in names intended to hide fraud. Mike can see that the merged records reveal another connection. All three claims were represented via a common claims management company, Nelson Claims Solutions. Mike searches the analysis repository for additional information about Nelson Claims. He has found a record for Nelson Claims Solutions. Mike sets an alert against this record so that he will be notified if additional information is added or linked to it. He continues his investigation, knowing that he will be alerted should new information be added to the repository by another analyst or a data import. He finds some existing intelligence about the organization. In addition, he finds a chart showing a network of individuals associated with Nelson Claims. He previews this chart before sending it for further analysis. Using social network analysis, Mike can quickly determine the key players. Mike submits his initial findings back to the case management system and then picks up an additional task. Mike receives a notification for the alert he set up earlier. The alerts indicate that the record has been updated and that new links have been added. He views the record to see what has changed. Mike then views the information as a visualization to see the new connections. By expanding the displayed record, he can see the connections that have been added, including 2 new employees as well as an event. The event details show that another insurance company is also investigating fraud by Nelson Claims Solutions. Now that Nelson Claims Solutions has been identified as a suspect organization, Mike looks at the claims associated with it. The historical claims associated with Nelson Claims Solutions are now shown on the chart. Mike has many tools to help him find the fraud. In this case, filtering makes it easy to identify the claims involving third-party injuries and rear-end collisions. Looking for patterns and dates and times can also be simply achieved. Mike can also create his own rules to help identify claims of interest and to improve investigation efficiency. For example, claims with a high reserve involving rear-end collisions can be automatically highlighted and enlarged. The highlighted claim can be further investigated to look for connections to our existing fraud case. By combining the charts, Mike reveals a further connection between a high-risk claim and Nelson Claims Solutions. Mike investigates this newly revealed information. He can simultaneously search for information in a number of internal and external data sources. The search results are returned for Mike to evaluate. Each result displays its source and is scored for relevancy. He can view each piece of information directly and see all available attributes. Selected records can be added directly to a chart. Connected records from the other data sources can be easily retrieved and displayed on the chart. Powerful analytical tools can be used to eliminate data duplication from the different data sources and create a clear picture of the available multi-source information. Mike sends his further analysis back to the case management system. Carly is an investigator in the Special Investigations Unit. She views the latest details of the case that is being investigated. Viewing the history of activity on the case, she can see that Mike has completed his analysis. She reviews one of the charts which provides a view of the key players in the fraud ring. She notices Mike's annotation concerning the multiple instances of Nelson's claims. She sees that Mike, the analyst, is online and asks him about Nelson Claims. He confirms that his investigation revealed that they are the same company. Carly moves to her resources view to do more research on Nelson Claims. She can see the history of activity and bring up profiles for each instance of the company. Carly adds a comment to the case history, capturing her current thoughts on the case. Carly creates a new task, requesting that field research be done on Nelson Claims Solutions, and assigns a field investigator, Nick. Nick carries out the research requested while Carly waits for a response. A short while later, Nick has completed his work and updated the case. Carly starts to review the results. She can see that Nick has added a number of documents to the case. She opens the annotated photograph of Nelson Claims headquarters. Clearly something's not right here. Carly goes on to gather evidence about the key players in the case and decides to move forward with the prosecution. She creates a work item to prepare a case package. A wizard, supported by rules, takes her through the process. Carly is able to add comments as necessary before creating the document. The completed document is then submitted to the appropriate authorities for prosecution. Several months later, Alan Parsons and Mohammed Carter are successfully prosecuted for insurance fraud. Unfortunately, Jeremy McLean disappeared and is currently thought to have returned to Bulgaria.